All right, hello and welcome back. Brett here with ClickMail. In this video, we're going to be looking at URL inspection. Pull that up. Okay, so here we are. So we're in the overview tab now. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go to URL inspection, and you'll notice it doesn't even go anywhere. So what it's going to do is it's going to highlight this bar up here, and it says inspect any URL in ClickMail. And this is where we're going to pull directly on that training we had on what is indexing. This is where we're going to tell Google, hey, I have a new page on my website, and I want you to go in and index it. Okay, so whatever that URL is for a page on your website. So we'll just go homepage on ClickMail. We'll just pull up the homepage. I highly, highly recommend you save your sanity and just copy the URL out of the search bar. So you can hit Control A. If you hold Control and hit the A button, that is highlight all. So I'm going to unclick Control A and it's highlighted. Control C is copy. This will speed up your workflow. Come back over and paste it exactly. I say it's going to save your sanity because you know as soon as you try to type these URLs in, you're going to miss one character. You're going to index a wrong page and nothing's going to be there. And then Google is trying to index you for a page that doesn't exist, and then your ranks go down. So just copy and paste it. All right. And then Control V is paste. Once you get that in your muscle memory, you're going to be able to rattle these out really quick. Okay. So clickmail.co, you can see these are some other pages that are just propagating because I've had these indexed. Now I'm going to hit enter and it's going to retrieve data from Google here. And you'll see in this case, it actually pulled up a different page because I auto selected it on accident, but doesn't really matter. So in this case, we have this URL and it's saying green check mark URL is on Google. So if you write an article or you are the poster of an article or you designed a new page and that needs to get submitted into Google, this is where you come to do it. So you're going to put that URL in up here, and then you'll see in this case, the URL is already on Google. And this, we're supposed to just search the homepage. We'll go ahead and just pull up the homepage. So there we go. Now we're on the ClickMail homepage, and you'll notice everything's green. We're live for everything. That's good. Now, what if I updated the page? Let's say I did some optimizations to the page for SEO, and I want to rank better for a specific term. I added that term to the page. Is it on Google? Yeah, it's on Google, but I need Google to come in and use its spider bots, right? Its algorithm, and recrawl the whole page and then re-index me with my updated page so I start to see the change in ranking, hopefully better. And how do we do this? Well, I'm going to come here and I'm going to click on request indexing. So when I click on request indexing, you will see that it will say testing if the URL can be indexed. This can take 2 minutes. It does actually say this might take a minute or two, and that is accurate. I'm going to cancel it because I haven't made any changes. But here it will say indexing requested, and it'll have a little check mark. Oh, it's going to submit it anyway for us, and I guess we'll see that. Okay, indexing requests dismissed, and you'll see indexing requested. Now, if you just built a new page and it is not on Google, you will see a gray minus sign, and it will say URL is not on Google. You request the indexing. It will usually take about 24 hours. It'll put it on what is called Google's priority crawl or force crawl list, and they'll get to your site. All right. And again, this is essentially not sitting around and hoping that the phone book guy is going to come knock on your door and say, hey, do you want to be in the phone? No, you're just going. You're calling the phone book company. You're saying, put me in the phone book right now because I need calls to my business. I need people finding my business. That's what you're doing when we're calling Google right here and we're saying, put us on the priority index list, put our page in Google right now. It could take months. I've seen it take up to 6 months for Google to find a page on a new site because they don't know your site. How are they going to just find it magically? They got to know it's there. And so this usually is about a 24-hour. I have seen this take up to a couple of weeks, but that is very uncommon. So this is URL, and you can see we can view the page, which we're not going to do because that's going to take us off here. I'm going to show you the other information on here and what this means. Page indexing. So you can see that there's a sitemap and it says there's no referring sitemap detected. So that's not necessarily good because the sitemap is where you want all of your pages. And so this might be something I'll look into. I actually happen to know that the sitemap does include this page, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm not sure why it's saying it doesn't. So I may check that in the future. We will be talking about sitemaps and what those are in a future video, so we'll get there. Referring pages. So these are pages that are referencing our website. So you can see there are other websites around the internet that are referencing our page. All right. Crawl. The last crawl. Why do I keep saying the word crawl? Because spider bots, by the way, is not my term. That is a SEO term for Google's little algorithm robots going around the internet and crawling all over your page and reading what's on it. And so the last time the page was crawled by the algorithm was April 28th. Well, it is 5/3, January, February, March, April. So that's 4/28. So it's been about 5 days since this was done. All right. And that's not bad. Once you're indexed, once you have a good, the better the reputation, the better your website authority, your domain authority, if you're familiar with that yet. Again, that's in the SEO course, but the better your domain authority, the more Google's going to come. The better your reputation, you're standing with Google, the more they're going to be here. So you can see we do get indexed about once a week, which is great because even if I don't index stuff, we're still going to get there. I'd rather have it up in 1 day than 5 days, but nonetheless. Okay, it crawls as a Google smartphone. And this is very common because Google is trying to find the worst case scenario for your page. And you'll see Google bot, right? That's your spider bot that I've been talking about. Crawls as a smartphone specifically because it's wanting to see, firstly, your page speed with low bandwidth connections. Phones have weaker internet connections off of wireless signals than you would in the Wi-Fi in your house. And so it's going to test your website from a mobile perspective, knowing that most of internet traffic at this point is mobile devices. And if your pages are super slow on mobile, you're probably not going to rank as well. Okay. Now, you can see the breakdown between mobile and desktop and laptop, and desktop and tablet in another spot, and you can see how you're ranking, and that's probably also affected by your how quickly your page loads. But it is initially going to go with a smartphone, so you do want to make sure your website is optimized both for speed and functionality on mobile. Okay, so that's getting more into technical SEO and web design for responsive design for mobile and tablet. So either way, we want to make sure we consider those things. Is the crawl allowed? Yes. If it's not allowed, and on the back end of your website, you have in your page settings, are search engine crawlable for search engines, and you say yes, no, you say no, then it's going to tell you crawlable allowed. No, the website just rejected the spider bot, the Google bot, and said, don't crawl this page. So if it says no, you got to go check your site settings. The bot successfully fetched the page. Was the indexing allowed? Yes. Indexing, and here's the site, and Google, okay, so it inspected the URL. Okay, coming down further, you'll see there are other things that you can have. We're actually going to get to these. You'll see down here and some of these other things, breadcrumbs up here in experience, HTTPS. Okay, now we'll get into those, and then you'll kind of more understand what those, but this is just saying, is your site secure? Is this specific page secure? We're going to see how to do that in HTTPS when we get there. Same thing with site link search box. Okay, so we'll see that when we get there. So this is how to index a page. You finish designing a page, you finish a blog, you finish creating a website entirely, you bring those URLs over here and you crawl them. Now, this specific process is usually going to be done when you're doing one page at a time. If you design a whole website and you've got, say, 20, 25, 50 pages, even 5, you will usually just upload a sitemap, and we will get to that in a future video as well. I got to open these back up here, but you'll see sitemaps here, and that's going to be, here's all the pages, and usually those will be indexed in bulk at that point. So with that, I will see you in the next video where we're going to get into search results. We'll see you there.